Hi guys, thank you so much for stopping by once again. This is Batok with Ola and my name is Mujula Oluwa. I am super thrilled to be here once again. Today we want to talk about the doctrine of necessity. I'm so happy we are over 7,000 subscribers strong now, and I want to thank everyone that has followed us from day one up till now. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the shares. Thank you so much. We thank our friends on other social media channels or social media, yes, we can say media, who have been supporting us, giving us shout outs, giving us votes of confidence. We are very grateful. Thank you so much. Batok with Ola, thanks you. In this video, we want to talk about the doctrine of necessity. As the name implies, it is a doctrine of necessity. We all say that necessity is the mother of invention. Yeah, that means that when a situation necessitates a different or a new action or decision, such an action or decision comes into place and births a new precedence. So something new comes out of it, which was otherwise not in existence just because of the necessity of that particular moment. That is how to understand the doctrine of necessity. It is an unconstitutional decision, so to say or speak, or a decision that is not backed by law or constitution, but just backed by the dictates of necessity, the exigencies of the moment, So we call it the doctrine of necessity. It is something that is done or exercised by administrative powers, authorities, even by judicial authorities in some cases. It's applicable domestically and internationally. Essentially, the doctrine of necessity is the basis upon which extra constitutional decisions are made in order to restore law and order, or to maintain order, or to attain power. I was in a meeting, recently, and the chairman of that meeting had to authorize the extension of the tenure of some, members, of that meeting holding a particular position, and he said that he was doing this, by the doctrine of necessity, so as not to eat up the polity and to maintain, stability in that establishment. Essentially, their tenures had expired and new officers were supposed to come in. But, there's a lacuna between the new officers that had not been elected or appointed, as it were, and now this one's tenure, their tenure is over. So if we say leave office immediately because your tenure is up or over, and we do not have new officers on ground to fill the office with, there's a lacuna created. So how do we fill this lacuna? That is what the doctrine of necessity seeks to fill. So on the basis of that lacuna, we say that let us do what is best in this situation, even if it's not prescribed by law, even if it is not something that's been done before, but if it will, preserve law and order, if it will help things to continue to run smoothly, then let us exercise our authority to decide in this and that way, and then we say that we are exercising the doctrine of necessity. In Nigeria, the doctrine of necessity was exercised in 2010 when President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua was ill and had been flown out of the country, and he had not been in office exercising his powers as the president for 78 days. Now, if you check section 145 of the Nigerian constitution, it says that if the president wants to go on vacation or will not be on ground to exercise his rule, his authority as the president of Nigeria, he should communicate in writing to the House of Assembly and tell them, the National Assembly, that, okay, I'm going away for so and so period. So once he communicates that, on that basis, power is transferred to the vice president to exercise on his behalf until he again returns and writes back to the National Assembly that I have come back to resume office. Check section 145 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999. So in Musa Yar'Adua's case, he was thrown out of the country because he fell ill. So he could not even communicate to the National Assembly that, oh, I'm going away for so and so period, then so that Goodluck Jonathan could continue to exercise the powers of the president as the substantive vice president. So the House, the National Assembly had to pass a resolution which had never been passed before at that time, to say that let us confer authority to exercise the powers of the president on the vice president, because he could not fulfill the dictates of the constitution because of ill health and the circumstances surrounding his leaving the country. And we don't know when he's going to be back, but someone needs to be exercising the powers of the president. The position cannot be vacant. We cannot wait for him in perpetuity. So both houses of the House of Representatives and the Senate, they pass resolutions to say that Goodluck Jonathan, the vice president, could now exercise the powers of the president despite not complying with the provisions of the constitution, and they tie this to the doctrine of necessity. So this is how to understand it. It is not that this doctrine of necessity is codified somewhere. There are origins in law, of course. There are origins in law, but it is not that it is written somewhere that, oh, in this case, then do this, in that case, do this. But as each case may require, the doctrine of necessity simply states that an administrative authority, even a judicial authority, can make decisions on the basis of this doctrine in places where the law has not expressly provided for how to arrive at such decisions, in order to maintain law and order, to preserve peace, so as not to eat up the polity, or to attain power, or ensure continuity, and preserve, the socio-political serenity, as the case may be. The doctrine of necessity can be traced to the medieval writings of Henry de Bracton, and the maxim that emerged from his writings, is that which is otherwise not lawful is made lawful by necessity. And that's what we've been explaining so far. If you check the writings of William Blackstone as well, you will find some basis for this doctrine, and how this doctrine emerged and has been exercised across history. It's a very old doctrine. In international law, it is also applied such that if a state has a paramount interest to protect, they are allowed to sacrifice the lesser interest of another state to protect the greater interest that they have to protect. It could also be used in situations of war where a just war is going on, and the only means of securing victory is to employ a tactic, for instance, to bomb a city. If that's the only way by which the military in a just war can ascertain or achieve victory, then they are allowed to go ahead and bomb a city. In another situation, it will not be okay or legal to do that. But by the doctrine of necessity, the situation has necessitated the bombing just to win victory in that just war. And you can apply this to several areas of life. It applies even in the judiciary. So this comes up in different ways. And as people and authorities and nations continue to evolve and carry on business, the doctrine of necessity continues to find expression in different ways. But essentially, it means that which would not have been lawful otherwise is made lawful by necessity. So in the instance that I cited, those officials, their tenure had expired, but it was necessary to keep them in office until new officers were appointed, so that there would be no lacuna in leadership. Also, in Nigeria's case, it was necessary to confer the powers of the president on the vice president, Goodluck Jonathan, at the time, so that there would be no lacuna in the presidency and in the leadership of the country, even though the principle of and the laid down rule of the Constitution in section 145 had not been complied with. I hope you understand, and I hope that you leave me questions and comments in the comment section. Don't forget to check the description box to see all the other goodies that we have for you on Bar Talk with Ola. Tell someone about this channel today. I will see you in my very next video. Toodles!